There you go. Good afternoon, everyone. Wareham and vicinity. Great to be here again. Got another awesome topic time show for you. The weather outside's a little unsettled, but it's spring and it's not snowing. I am not complaining. But before we get to my new great guest, I got to read these awesome underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So, we got Barnacote Monuments in Middleborough. We got the main ingredient in Middleborough. We got South Shore Trains and more in Pembroke. We got good old Dave's Automotive Enhancement on Route 58. We got the Cornerstone Barbershop in Pembroke. We got Pembroke Radiator in Pembroke. We got Kingston Auto Body in Kingston. We got New England Floorscapes in Middleborough. We got Tom Auto in Middleborough. We got Madigan Land Surveying in Middleborough. We got DNS Auto Works in Abington. And we got the Gunrunner LLC, the store in Middleborough that supports your Second Amendment rights. I want to thank you guys very much. And now on that note, now I will introduce this young lady, Melissa Potter. You may remember Matt Fisher, who is one of the most renowned film producers in our area. Well, she works for him, but she also does stuff for herself. She's an actress, she's a publicist, and we're going to find out all about her. And Melissa, thank you for coming up from the biggest little state in the Union, Rhode Island, to be on Topic Time with me today.
Well, thank you for having me today. I appreciate it.
I know we just hooked up on Facebook a couple of weeks ago, and I have to admit, when I saw your profile, I was a little bit, I wasn't quite clear as to what you did exactly, except that it looked interesting. So now we're going to find out because you're going to tell me. So first of all, you said that it says you're a publicist. You a publicist for Matt's company, Boombastic Films, and you got his emblem on.
I'm supporting Boombastic Films and my Boombastic family today.
Okay.
I am all over the place right now. It's been quite the learning experience. Matt and I met in 2014 at the now defunct Rock and Shock convention.
Okay.
And
why is it defunct? Just curious, real quick.
They're not going to have it anymore.
Okay.
So. That was how I met everybody and got into connection with all the people that I'm involved with now.
All right, I understand. Okay, well that is interesting. So but you're an actress too, right? Or not? Or have been?
I have been in but they're like minor roles, just background.
No minor roles. Every role, without any role is a major role. To me, it's a major. It is a major role if it connects pieces of a puzzle, so to speak. In this case, a film. So, if you don't mind, I'm just curious, if you say you had small roles, can you tell me about them real quick?
One of them was just was the one that I was predominantly on set for was Attack of the Atomic Killer Bee.
Was that one of Matt's films?
It's one of Matt's films.
Okay.
It's a short that we filmed while we were doing another project that can't talk about just yet.
No problem. Anything else you want to mention about acting? Any other acting roles you want to mention?
There's no other acting roles. I've just been doing a lot of behind the scenes.
Okay, that's right. So you're more behind the scenes.
Yes.
Okay, now what I do with all my guests is I profile them, find out what they were like as children and how they got to where they're at now. So tell me about young Melissa Potter as a child, what you were like, where you grew up, and how it led you to what you were doing now. Were you an outgoing person? Were you shy? Did you like making films? Did you like being busy or not?
When I was a kid,
yes.
I really wasn't into the film aspect of things. I loved to watch movies.
Okay.
You
like watching them, but you never thought you'd actually be involved in them. Okay.
I never thought anything that I've been doing the last few years I was going to be involved with. It just kind of happened.
Okay, obviously everything happens for a reason, but go on.
It's been great. I was more the band geek and the choir geek in school.
Okay.
So that was my thing, and in high school I was in ROTC, and
let's go back. So did you play music? You play in the bands?
I played clarinet in the band, and I did that for a few years. I stopped before I got to high school with the band, though.
Were you talking about middle school, right?
Middle school,
okay.
Yes. And then in high school I was in choir for a while, and then I lost my interest with singing, and
it's too bad. I was going to ask if you wanted to sing something here.
Yeah, no.
A cappella, but I guess not. Okay.
No, not today.
No, that's fine. If you don't want to, that's fine. But that's because I always say the more multifaceted a person is, the more opportunities they're going to have, and the more and which doesn't mean that if you wanted to add more things to your resume as time went on, you couldn't do it, because you certainly could.
Yeah, nowadays my singing is pretty much just down to karaoke.
Okay, so, well that's fine.
Yeah,
well,
but I still enjoy it, but not at the level I used to as a child. And so the movie thing, it started in 2014. I
All right,
started
tell me
getting
about that. You met Matt. You met him at the now defunct. What was it called? The Honky Tonk.
the Rock and Shock
The Rock and
Horror
Shock.
Convention
Okay,
in
I'm thinking
Worcester.
Honky Tonk. Oh, in Worcester. I didn't know
Yep.
where it was. Okay.
Yep.
Well, all right, why were you there? Just to take it in?
I had never been, and
Okay.
I was listening to 94 HJY, which is a local radio station.
I know what it is. I listen
Yep.
to it every day.
And I heard about the convention, and they were one of the guests that drew my attention to going to the convention was they had Sid Haig.
Who?
Sid Haig. He
Okay.
played Captain Spaulding in Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand
Oh,
Corpses.
wow. Okay, yep.
And
Were Paul and Al there too?
no, they weren't there. They were just promoting it.
You know who I mean, though.
Yep.
Obviously.
Oh, I know exactly. Yeah.
Of course.
I used to
okay.
listen to their morning when they were doing the morning shows all the time.
They're crazy. They're still on every day.
I grew kind of fond of Opie and Anthony.
My favorite years ago, my favorite was Carolyn Fox, the all-time. You remember her?
Yep, I remember her too.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't know. She's probably been fired for so many jobs for breaking the FCC regulations that she may have had to start her own. Oh, I know what. No. You know what? She's in New York now doing real estate, and we are Facebook friends, and we're going to possibly do an interview we're going to probably do it on a remote Zoom though. But she's definitely interested in doing an interview with me. But I think her radio days are behind her completely, which is too bad because she was great at it.
She was great. She really was.
Female Howard Stern all the way.
Yep, exactly, and that's probably why.
I was in there one time in 1996 looking to possibly do an internship, and I couldn't. You know that they're huge radio stations in a little house in a tiny cul-de-sac in East Providence.
Yep.
Have you been there?
I have been there a few
You have been
times.
there too.
Yep.
Okay, so you know exactly where it is.
Oh gosh,
okay.
yes.
All right. Well, all right. Let's get back to the shock and jock thing. So you were there just checking it out, and you happened to talk to Matt Fisher and.
Yep, Matty was there.
Yep.
He was working a booth for Full Moon Features.
Okay.
And that's how I became friends with him and Billy Coyne, who is.
I know Billy. Yeah.
Yep.
He almost did the show. It never happened though. Maybe at some point we will get him on.
Yeah, we all started talking,
Yep.
and we've become friends.
Okay.
And then, as I was watching what they were doing, it started sinking in that, oh, this is kind of cool. I want to.
Okay, tell me
Test the waters.
exactly what they were doing. I'm not actually clear on that, but you tell me.
They were filming. They were in the process of getting ready to start filming a short called Fair Game. It's part of an anthology film called American Sasquatch.
Okay. Kind of like a horror, zombie
It's a
kind
horror.
of thing?
Actually, not zombies. Bigfoot.
Oh, Bigfoot. Well, that's kind of a
So,
zombie.
yeah.
He's the ultimate zombie. Like,
He's the ultimate.
well,
hide
Rob
and
Zombie's
seek.
the ultimate zombie, but right.
Bigfoot's the ultimate hide and seek champion.
You're right. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
So that was my first time being on set.
Okay.
And just everything. I did the costume for the Sasquatch character.
Wow.
And that's kind of.
Were you in the
how I
film
got
too,
thrown
or
into
just
it.
everything behind the scenes?
Everything was just behind the scenes on
Okay.
that one, just because it was my first project. It was like a January day. It was rain, icy.
Early 2014. Yeah, that was a cold month. I
Yeah,
remember.
actually, this was actually in 2017.
Oh,
we did this.
2017, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was. There was like a good 3-year
Oh, that'd be
gap in between my meeting Matt
And-
and the first time I actually stepped foot on a
Oh,
set.
okay. Interesting. All right. Okay. So now I want to know is did you get any? Did you go to college at all?
I did, but not for anything in
Well,
film.
Okay,
I
but
was,
tell me where you went and what you went for.
I was doing correspondent courses for University of Phoenix for healthcare management.
Online?
Online.
Okay,
yeah.
so you didn't actually go out to Phoenix.
No,
Okay.
no.
Well, that was. I mean, you were just trying something. You were just dipping your feet in the water, so to speak.
Yeah,
The thing
I
was-
just wanted to see
Okay.
where my interests were going to take me because I have so many that
That's good.
I didn't know what I wanted to do. So
Yeah, all right,
was
well, that's
still
good. So,
young.
right, okay, but there's nothing wrong with that because everything you do in college, anything you do in life is always something you can fall back on later on.
Yep.
Okay, so now, going forward, what have you, I mean, are you regularly working with Matt now on a lot of different things?
we have a lot of projects that we do together. We started a podcast together about 3 years ago.
I never even knew that.
Yep.
And Matt came to my 60th birthday party at my parents' house a couple of years ago, too. Never even told me, but that's okay. That's all right. Now, I'm glad you told me.
Yep, we
Okay.
have a podcast called Shock Treatment
Okay.
with Mel and Maddie, and
Is it just you and Matt?
it's just me and Matt. for
All right,
this
so you
one.
two, so you are a star of a show like mine, kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
There you go. I love it. All right, go on.
So we have been interviewing people for the last 3 years. I've interviewed Sid Haig. Our biggest show to date has been Richard Stanley.
Okay,
He's the director for Color Out of Space.
okay.
He was our season opener for our season 2 with the Dorkening Network that we're on now. We started with WBOB in 2017.
Is that a radio station?
Yes.
Is that WBOB?
WBOB,
Where's
yes.
that? I mean, is that in?
It's located in Cranston, Rhode Island.
Oh, okay. Got it. AM or FM?
They're actually internet radio.
Oh, internet. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's where we got our start. And then we ended up switching from WBOB
Radio to video, right?
And we've been doing video on, and we put, depending on who our guests are, we upload the video footage to our YouTube station.
Well, if Matt wants to interview me, I'm down. I've interviewed him enough. I interviewed him had him on my regular show back in 2012. And then when DJ Stan the Man, no, he did that came out in 2015. So I don't think you were involved in that.
I wasn't.
You weren't,
involved
no,
with that
because
yet.
you hadn't even really, you'd met him, but he was that film took a long time. I mean, it was his first major deal and his first major film, and it was like 2 years behind schedule, which makes sense because he'd never done a film that was considered major in terms of time, which is usually a film that goes an hour and a half or longer, which is what it did go. I did several bits over at I believe it was in Hanover, Massachusetts. I don't know it's the something hall there, where all the it's kind of like a club, the Veterans Club or something, and I did some stuff there in 2012. I did an on-set interview with the cast members of the film, and I got to be in the film too.
Oh, that's
one
awesome.
of my IMDb. I played a guest at a wedding that they were having.
Yeah, and I've seen the movie several
Oh
times.
yeah. You can see my ugly mug in there doing my dancing, and it was kind of fun. So I had him on as a regular guest, and then I did an on-set interview with him and the actors. But the film was supposed to have been done in 2013, and I didn't get it finished until 2015. But it was worth it because he had to, a lot of stuff happened. Some of the people moved away. They had to do whole new footage, all new footage scenes with different people.
Yep.
Right. So, and a lot of the people that were in the film had been guests on my show as well, including the one who played the bride. I can't even think of her name. Rachel Boran. Remember her?
I don't know.
You don't know who she was? Yeah. Well, see, they had a different bride, and then the other girl left, and Rachel came in and became the bride in the film. If you've seen the film, right?
I've seen the film.
Okay.
It's a great dark comedy.
It absolutely is. And Frankie Mbagamo, who stars in the film, was my very first Topic Time guest 11 years ago. Hard to believe. I just recently started becoming friends with him, so we're still on the getting to know one another. Oh yeah, Frank's a great guy. He's pretty big in the film industry.
I've been blessed. Everybody that I've had the opportunity to work with or interview has been absolutely fantastic, and it's an eye-opening experience to meet so many cool people that if I hadn't started doing all of this, exactly, I wouldn't have met you.
Right.
So, it's just been a great experience. I've met so many awesome people, and it's something that like I said, I never thought I would actually be doing this, and I love every second of it.
I don't blame you. Okay, now what I'm going to ask you is this: now that you're behind the scenes doing a lot of film crew work, have you ever written anything, script-wise, or anything at all?
I'm actually in the process of penning my first script now.
Okay, tell me as much about it as you can without giving too much away.
Please. I'm getting ready to start. My first production is a documentary about a client that I support right now.
A client that you support. This is based on something that's real.
Yep, it's a documentary.
What kind of a client for what?
She's got cerebral palsy.
Okay, yeah.
And it's to pretty much showcase her life and all the amazing things that
Are you a healthcare professional too? Is that
I
it?
am.
Okay.
That's my grown-up daytime job.
I understand. Okay. No, that's important, obviously.
Yeah, and I love the healthcare field too. So, I get the best of both worlds. I get one where I get to help people, and then I get the one where I get to entertain.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Are you certified as a nurse or a doctor? I'm sure you're not a doctor, or are you a doctor?
I wish.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
I wish I was a doctor. The money was so much better in that field, but
well, stay with it. Maybe you will be.
Even with
become a witch doctor, if nothing else.
Well, I get called a witch a lot, so.
Oh well, I don't know why. I would never say that, but go on.
It's the best of both worlds. I love the fact that I get to help people on a daily basis.
So do you like help people in homes, in-home people like that?
Yeah, I started working in group homes with adults with developmental disabilities.
Right.
And from there, I've started doing home care over the last few years, and which was kind of a good thing with everything that's been going on with COVID.
Right.
Because then that way I know exactly who's around and who I'm coming in contact with. So it makes it so much easier for the whole contact tracing thing. If God forbid I were to come in contact with somebody.
Okay, well, I'm twice vaccinated. I'm feeling great.
I get my second dose on Friday. I'm kind of nervous.
You'll be fine, believe me. You know, it's not, it's nothing.
Well, I had some minor
Me too. Yeah, I'm
symptoms afterwards.
Yeah, we all do. You all feel a little woozy.
Yeah.
It's almost like a little shot. It's like a little shot of penicillin. That's it.
I felt more like getting shot with a gun the next day.
Well, I don't. Well, it wasn't for me, but you'll be okay.
Oh yeah, I'm not even worried about that. I'm just happy about the fact that it'll allow me to be able to do more within.
We're all going to be back to normal before we know it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're heading in that direction. But in terms of because I've done home care stuff too. I wasn't certified, but I've worked, going to people's homes, mostly sick people, some sick, but mostly the elderly people who couldn't get out, helping them out, sometimes taking care of them, cleaning the house. And
going grocery shopping.
Right, exactly. But I guess in your case, you are certified as a home health care aide, correct?
No, actually, I'm not.
Oh, you're not?
I don't have to be because of the type of work it is, because it's home care. You don't have to have a CNA.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
But it wasn't exactly a field I thought I would stay in because I didn't think I was going to like it. I actually started as a cook when I was a kid. So
a cook as a kid? How young as a kid? You mean like a teenager?
Like 17, 18.
Yeah, okay.
Up until I was like 22, I was a cook, and then I switched over to healthcare and been doing it ever since.
You can mix it up. You can always cook for your clients, right? Or do you?
I do.
There
I
you
do
go.
cook for my clients. I was always, even in the group homes, I was like the designated cook.
Designated cook in the group homes. Huh?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So I mean, that's incredible. That must take a lot of responsibility though, cooking for all those people.
It does because depending on the size of the group home, most of the ones I worked in, there was like 6 consumers who lived in the home,
right,
plus 3 to 4 staff, and whomever else happened to drop in on the shift.
But you don't live in the homes with them, right? You just visit them.
No, I live in my own home, and I go to theirs, and I help them do what they have to do.
Well, that's good. Okay, so you're independent, place, free to come and go as you please and need to, and it frees you up for other stuff with Matt and whatever else. And,
yes.
Okay, that's great. So you don't sing anymore. You never sing to your patients? Maybe that'll make them feel better.
I don't sing to them. I usually sing with them.
Well, that's even better.
Yeah. The client I have now, she's fantastic.
Okay.
So on Sundays when I work with her, it's like 80s music the entire shift, and we're both singing away as we're doing what we need to do for the night.
Wow.
So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. That's great. Okay, so you obviously you lift the spirits, and you can't ask for anything better than that.
No, and she's just such a fantastic person that, it's kind of hard not to be in a good mood when you're working with her.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, she's great.
This is the one with cerebral palsy?
Yes.
I know this isn't a loaded question. I'm just curious. Is there any chance that even somebody with cerebral palsy might be able to do acting in a film too, or is that not in the cards for her? I guess probably.
If she wants to be in it,
okay.
Other than just doing behind the scenes stuff,
right,
like giving me information and whatnot,
does she ever help you with the films?
This is my first attempt at doing one.
Okay.
So I'm literally this is my first
You just starting yourself, so you want to get your feet wet, exactly, so you see how it feels for you.
Yep.
Okay.
So she's been fantastic with everything. She's so excited about the fact because she's a published author. She has a couple of books out. Yeah.
Well, we can get her on the show.
I
know it's probably a little tougher.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she has ways that she can communicate.
Yeah. Well, I'm always looking for all kinds of new angles for people, for guests on the show. All right. Well, so do you have kids of your own?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
No.
Well, that definitely frees you up.
Yeah.
for now.
I just have my 5-year-old nephew. He's my whole world.
That's great.
So and then I get to give him back.
Okay. Great. Okay. That's wonderful. Then that's awesome. I'm sure you're very well loved at home and everything. So did you grow up in Rhode Island?
I did. Born and raised.
Born and raised in Rhode Island. Yep. I always biggest little state in the union. I've had several guests from down there, and I did an interview on the water once too, down in Narragansett Bay.
Oh, it's gorgeous down there.
Oh, it is, yeah. So, okay. You like to swim at all? You like the water sports?
I don't know so much about water sports, but I've always been fond of the water. That's like one of my favorite places to
boating
go and
at all?
think. I'm sorry?
Boating?
No.
You don't have a boat?
Oh God, no.
Really?
I don't even like going on boats. Like
You're afraid of boats?
Swimming. Yeah.
Okay.
So like swimming, I'll do. That's probably about the extent of my water activities, or like sitting on the beach
There you go. Okay.
just to think, or come up with new ideas and write stuff out. If I'm having a bad day, it's just like my woosah zone.
Okay. All right. Now, how would you classify your genre for acting? I mean, or for film writing? Would you consider it maybe darkly comical based on what you've told me so far, or Or is there a little more to it than that? Are you comical? Are you dramatic? Do you have it all?
It kind of depends on the situation and
It is.
what we're working on.
Okay.
You know, like my doing a documentary, that's going to be something more on.
Okay, you're going to be doing a documentary on this.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
this is a real life
more of a
thing.
serious real life.
Yep. Okay.
So you know, people get to see a different side of the bombastic.
Okay, so
family.
Matt's going to be producing it. Is that right?
Yes.
With your client.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great. I mean, that is going to be fascinating. Because I always say, if you have the means to create good art, you can. There's no limit to how you can apply it. And in this case, it's obvious that there's plenty of ways of doing that. Especially this, I'm sure, for Matt, is something that's totally different than anything he's ever done.
That's what he said. And
Yeah.
if it's not him that produces it, it'll be Buddy Buttafuoco,
Okay.
who has been working with Matt as well.
No relation, the other Buttafuoco, the one in Long Island.
No, no relation.
Joey.
No, Buddy's kind of new to Boombastic as well, and
Okay.
he's starting to do more behind the scenes footage stuff as well on set with Matt and I.
Okay. How big is the staff now, Matt's staff? Do you have any idea how many people does he have under him now?
I'm not sure about that. There's a close, tight-knit group of us that there's about 6 or 7 of us that
Okay.
always work together since
Right.
we've started together.
Including like what's his name, Alex
Alex Hawk.
Hawk. Yeah.
Yeah,
I interviewed him too. I interviewed him on set, and I interviewed him up in Lowell doing another project with a different person that does filmmaking up there. Alex, he's one of Matt's right-hand dudes for the company.
And Ray Booten as well, who's another.
Ray Booten was a guest on the show too. He was a great guest.
Yeah, we've actually all got podcasts now.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking maybe I gave him the idea originally. I mean, I'm
never
probably the
know.
first one that ever did it. Well, it's not a podcast, but you know what I mean. The idea,
Yeah.
the concept is similar.
And there's just so many people, and like there's a lot more coming out of COVID now podcast-wise. So, you know, we've just been using this time to come up with new material, come up with new shows, come up with new film projects.
Okay.
And, you know, all doing our shows and anything else that we can do within safety.
Of course, yeah.
precautions.
Right, I know, and it's pretty good. I mean, the restrictions have been relaxed a lot. How are things in Rhode Island right now? I guess they've certainly gotten better than they were
They've loosened up with some of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
restrictions, but they're still holding tight with like
Yes, I
social
know.
distancing and whatnot. But
But you know, the good
It's-
thing about being on the beach is there's plenty of space out there.
hopefully, until summertime hits and all the tourists.
Yeah, I
start
know, but
coming in.
right, I understand. We take it one day at a time, but even in the spring, it's still warm enough for being on the beach, although there is quite a sea breeze.
We have gone down there
Yeah.
recently. We were just down there within the last couple of weeks, and we went down to Georges of Galilee, and
Georges of Galilee, is that Newport?
it's it's down in Narragansett.
Oh, it
It's
is, okay.
A seafood restaurant down on near one of the beaches.
Oh, it's a restaurant, okay, I got it.
So we
Okay.
went there and had lunch and, hung out on the beach, took some pictures, and just enjoyed the day because it was when the nice weather first
Right.
started kicking in. But yeah, it was definitely a little bit cooler down there.
Okay. All right, now going forward, what exactly do you have any, well, speaking of the summer's coming and everything, do you have any things lined up on the horizon? Film-wise or anything else that you
We're
want to?
hoping now that, everybody's getting vaccinated
Okay.
and whatnot, that we're going to be able to start our new film project.
Okay.
So it's called The Wicked Hollows.
The Wicked what?
The Wicked Hollows.
Okay.
It's based on, I guess, an urban legend within town.
Within what town?
Within Weymouth.
Weymouth.
It's about a witch. I'm not exactly sure of
Oh, okay.
the whole history.
You're shooting it in Weymouth, Mass?
We're kind of shooting. We started filming in the Cape, not far from this area.
All right. I don't want you to give too much away.
Oh, I'm not gonna.
Okay. Okay.
But we had to stop filming when COVID
Yeah, of
picked
course.
up, unfortunately.
So the project's been going on for the last over a year then, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been on hold since.
It's been on
COVID.
hold, exactly. So you're
Yeah.
going to be, but eventually you'll be going back to it soon.
Yep.
Okay, that's great. Now when you say working behind the scenes, what exactly do you do? Run the camera, do the directing,
I'm actually wardrobe
wardrobe?
on,
Okay,
on set.
that must be fun.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting because you have to make sure that every time you're on set, everybody has the same costumes on the
Right.
same way, and that, you know, things don't get mixed up, and got to keep everything organized and labeled for who has what, and, you know, even take pictures so that, you know, everything's on point so that there's no discrepancies within the film.
Okay, that's right. Okay, but what about, so that's pretty much that's your deal?
That's my job on set usually.
Okay, well, that's pretty good. Do you, I mean, so you appoint people their costumes too, right?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm just curious, how many different locations have you been on to shoot so far since you started?
Not many. I've been on maybe 4 or 5 different sets.
Okay.
So
But they're all different though, and they've both been indoors and outdoors?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
We've been lucky that most of what we've been able to film were outdoors.
Okay.
So that makes it a little bit easier, obviously, unless it's like really bad weather out, because when we did the scene for American Sasquatch, like I said, it was snowy and it was raining.
Was it
so
really?
We had to make sure that everybody, you know, stayed safe and didn't slide on the ice.
Okay, well, so was that meant to be an outdoor scene in the snow?
I don't know if it was necessarily meant to be in the snow, but it just kind of happened.
It just worked out that way.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's interesting. That's amazing. Okay, but the fact that you were able to withstand the elements is pretty good. Because obviously when you're doing films, the elements aren't going to give you all the joy that you seek from the job. It's going to probably, you know, oftentimes it's going to be a hindrance that you have to deal with. In this case, you did.
Yep, it's just like anything else in life. You know, you just have to take the punches as
exactly.
they come
Roll
at
with
you.
them.
Yep.
Okay. Well, guess what? We're down into the final 5 minutes of the show.
Oh wow, already?
Yeah, make it go by fast.
Yeah,
Well,
it does.
Kristen just gave me the 5 signal. So like I told you at the beginning, what I want you to do is to give shouts out to people that are going to see the show. That can include your boyfriend right there and your family members, your say 5-year-old nephew.
Yes.
And Matt, of course, and just we'll condense them and then we'll wrap the show up the way
Matt,
we began with my music.
family.
Yeah, exactly.
My boyfriend's been a big supporter since he's been in my life. So
Cool.
it's, you know, I'm very blessed to have the tight-knit group of people I have around me.
Okay, that's great. Okay. Well, if do you want to give shouts out to anybody specifically? Just name a few people. And
Just
then
Matthew Fisher and Alex Hawk and Ray Booten, my Dorkening Network family, my Boombastic Media family.
Well, wait a minute, what was that before that Dorkening? What's that?
The Dorkening Network. It's the network that our podcast is on.
Oh, that's what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool name. I'm glad. Okay, we saved it you saved the best for last.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Okay. All right. Well, and that having been said, if you had a good time with me today, what I want you to do, if you wouldn't mind, is like I ask every guest, is to spread the word about my show. Get as many people that I haven't had on as to contact me to do the show, and we'll get them on as guests, either here or at one of my other locations.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay. You have my number. You know how
I
to.
do.
You're right. So just. I'm an open book when it comes to people contacting me, and even if it's 3 in the morning, as long as if I'm sleeping, they can always text me. The text messages go through. They don't care what time of day it is.
Right.
And all they need to do is tell me their name and the situation, and I'll get back to them. And because I'm always, like I said, I'm always looking for new people on the show. It's not the people I interview; it's the art of conversation, brought to fruition, which is basically what the show is, and that's it.
Well, I have plenty of people I can send your way.
That's beautiful, and you did it. And I just want you to know you did a great job.
Well, thank you for having me.
And I hope I dispelled any of the. Have you ever done a TV show before this?
No, this
Except
is my
your own
first
podcast.
one.
That's
Except
great.
for my own. No, this
Right.
is my first time being interviewed.
Well,
so
I
it was
noticed you mentioned. I
nerve-wracking.
noticed. Good. Well, I noticed you mentioned you were nervous. I hope I took that away quickly.
You definitely did.
Okay, good. Well, you heard it here. All right. So on that note, are you ready to wrap the show up like we
I
began?
am. Yes.
Okay, folks. Wareham and vicinity. Thanks for watching Topic Time. More great episodes to follow. See you next time. Take care. Have a good one.